the chairman of the subcommittee for working with us. I'm pleased to support the manager's amendment. It codifies two provisions that recently were carried regularly in GSA resolutions, but it makes improvements to them and makes them clearer. It also makes several improvements to other GSA reform bills that we've previously passed in this committee. First, the amendment requires GSA to include a clear prohibition on GSA engaging in lease agreements that benefit the President, the Vice President, and members of Congress in all leases. Previously, GSA has carried a similar provision in their outleases of federal buildings that banned all federally elected officials from benefiting from leases. However, in recent times, there has been some confusion about who is considered an elected official, so now we must explicitly state that the President is an official who should not benefit from GSA leases. I'm pleased that we're removing all doubt that federal officials should not directly benefit from federal leases, regardless of when they were elected to office. Second, I'm pleased that the amendment contains Representative Lynch's bipartisan bill requiring the identification of the beneficial owner of buildings that house high-security space leased for federal agencies. The GAO has identified security risks that may exist to highly sensitive governmental operations if federal tenants don't know that a federal entity or a foreign entity owns and controls the building. This notification of foreign ownership of buildings housing high-security operations simply allows the tenant agency to engage in security mitigation measures meant to reduce the risk of espionage and unauthorized cyber and physical access. These two smart measures improve accountability and security in our federal building. Lastly, I want to thank the chairman for working with me to include provisions related to the construction, acquisition, and refurbishment of our federal buildings, both leased and owned, to examine how we can make these buildings safer for wildlife, especially birds. More and more modern buildings are being constructed with glass facades, and as a result, we've seen over 1 billion birds killed in bird strikes. But there are cost-effective and aesthetically pleasing designs and techniques we can and should be incorporating into our federal building portfolio that causes us to be able to mitigate this dangerous trend. So I want to thank my colleague, Congressman Mike Quigley from Illinois, who's been a champion on these issues and is the author of the Federal Bird Safe Building Act. And I look forward to working on this as the study moves forward. So I would urge all the members to support the manager's amendment. I again thank the chairman and yield back.
Thank the gentlelady. Now recognize Mr. Denham.